Hi everybody in my TSTO Harry Potter group and YouTube channel. Okay, so we're on to the second part of the TLSQ for the new adventure Hufflepuff Celebration. Okay, so we're taking care of Professor Sprout's plant, her geranium, her biting geranium. Kind of interesting. So this here is part 2 of 3. So let's continue on with the quest line. And let's go visit Hagrid. This is a lot of fun. I like this. Okay. Ask for advice. Here we go.
Hello there. Nice to see you, Grogu.
Hello, Hagrid. My friends and I wanted to ask you for advice about,
Sorry, Grogu, 1 second. Marilla, don't pull that. That's a carrot, not a weed.
How am I supposed to know the difference? A plant's a plant.
Galloping gargoyles, what am I going to do about those two?
Is everything all right?
Oh, it's nothing much. Marilla and Esmeralda got in a spot of trouble in class, so Professor McGonagall told them to help me in my garden for a special to learn their lesson. Problem is, they're most reliable gardeners, and I'm up to my ears in weeds.
I was hoping to ask you for gardening advice, but if you're too busy in the garden, perhaps we can help. Penny, Tonks, and I could lend you a hand, and when the work is done, we can talk fanged geraniums.
I'd be grateful. You're always someone I can rely on, Grogu. And I shouldn't be surprised to see Hufflepuffs like Penny and Tonks offer their aid. I always liked that about a Hufflepuff. They aren't afraid of little hard work. I was a Gryffindor myself, but House Hufflepuff is worthy of my respect too.
Oh, please, no one respects Hufflepuff. Hufflepuffs never do anything interesting or dangerous. They're by far the most boring house at Hogwarts. Hufflepuffs aren't boring. They've produced some of the most fascinating witches and wizards in history. Take Newt Scamander. He was a Hufflepuff and his life was the furthest thing from boring. One wizard leads an interesting life, and I'm supposed to believe all Hufflepuffs are like that? I think not.
Now, let's fight about silly things. We've got gardening to do. Grogu, I'll give 'em all the advice you need just as soon as we're done.
Then let's get started. Point me to those weeds and I'll show them who's boss. I feel bad for Hagrid having to have Marilla around. Okay, takes so much to do this. Come on. Come on. There. Oh. Would have known I could have just used some gems, but oh well. Here we go.
We're all finished and with time to spare. Now I can help you with your gardening questions. Ask away, Grogu.
Thanks, Hagrid. We want to know how to help an old fanged geranium. He's not hungry or sick, but he still doesn't look well. Gerald is an important plant to Professor Sprout. We can't let him wither away.
It's not illness or hunger that's ailing Gerald. It could be the soil. Sometimes a plant gets all the nutrients it can from the dirt it's potted in. Refreshing the soil every few years is crucial.
Then it sounds like we ought to give Gerald some new soil.
I've got new pot and soil mix I've been working on. Professor Sprout even asked me about it before she went, but I was still working on it and couldn't give her any. I'm nearly done with it now, though. Just need a few more things.
What do you need? We may be able to get it for you.
I've got most of what I need, but I could use something that holds water but won't break down too quickly.
Professor Kettleburn gave us some coir and natural fibers. Would that help?
That's perfect, Grogu. That'll keep the soil nice and moist while avoiding rot.
I have some potion ingredients too. Kira gave them to me hoping they may help. Bone meal, powdered kelp, and wigan tree bark.
Those'll do nicely, Grogu. Bone meal and powdered kelp are great fertilizers, and the wigan tree bark will help with the drainage. Seems your Hufflepuff friendships paid off.
I suppose they did. Kira and Professor Kettleburn gave me what I needed without even knowing it.
Friendships can be like that. When we look out for each other, we get rewards we didn't even expect. There's just one more ingredient that'll make our potting soil complete. A bit of old magical dung.
Magical dung?
That's right. Some magical creatures leave dung behind that'll do wonders for any plant. Take mooncalves. They got some of the best magical dung there is. Save for dragon dung, of course. There's even a herd of mooncalves near a lake in the Forbidden Forest not far from here.
Interesting, and if one were to gather calf dung, it would complete the potting soil?
Sure would, but it wouldn't be easy. The only way to get mooncalf dung is to gather it while they're dancing under a full moon. There's a full moon tonight, of course, but Forbidden Forest after dark is no place for students. Too dangerous.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Thanks for all your help, Hagrid. My friends and I know just what to do next. We're going to finish the magical potting soil and bring Gerald back to his old self. Okie doke, I'll probably off to the Lemmigas. Yes, we're going to get some moon dung poo. Or mooncalf poo. Fun. Okay. These must be the mooncalves Hagrid mentioned. They're dancing in the moonlight just like he said. I wonder if this is the same herd that I helped Moonki join. They're certainly just as delightful as that group was. When they're through, we'll swoop in and collect any dung they've left behind. Then we can finish Gerald's potting soil, and maybe the only thing we can do to keep it from withering away. We promised Professor Sprout we'd take care of Gerald. We can't let her down, though we still don't know why Gerald is so special to her. And just for anybody wondering out there, I named my mooncalf Moonki. Hey, this is adorable and everything, but we'll need to gather the mooncalf soon. And if we don't get back before sunrise, the dung will lose its magical potency. Relax, Grogu. We've got time to take in the show. We should count ourselves lucky that the only creatures we have to deal with are some cute dancing mooncalves. Uh-oh. Lovely. Run, little mooncalves. Merlin's beard, it's a dragon. The mooncalves ran away. That's a Welsh dragon by the look of it. I don't think it came to dance in the moonlight. This could be a blessing in disguise, Grogu. It is? Sure it is. Now we have a chance to gather dragon dung and mooncalf dung. We'll just nip there and scoop some up before the dragon even notices. What do you think? Tonks, you're a genius. Hagrid said that the only thing that can compete with mooncalf dung was dragon dung. If we combine both types, Gerald's magical potting soil will be even more potent. All we need to do is gather the dung without the dragon noticing. Oh, sure. Yeah, that'll be an easy one. The dragon is going to notice if we stay here. We'll never sneak past it at this rate. I'll give you an opening. Use it to gather what magical dung you can, and more importantly, get away safe. Okay. Hope the dragon ate its fiber. Here, dragon, look over here. Oh, yeah. Ugh. They could at least wear gloves. I just think it's funny. It's like they're gathering it with their hands. Nobody even stopped to kind of say that point. Yeah. Come on. 3 stars. 4 stars. And come on. 4 stars. And come on. There we go. 5 stars. Run. It looks like everyone's gotten away safely. Time to go. Brilliant work, Grogu. You made it out in one piece. I was lucky it didn't see me slip away. Now we just need to lie low until Welsh Green wanders off. We gathered more than enough magical dung to finish Gerald's potting soul. What a thrill. I knew I could count on you and the other Hufflepuffs to get the job done. Of course, that's Hufflepuff loyalty for you. Just think, all this was to help an old fang geranium, and we never even learned why Gerald is so important to Professor Sprout. There's still time to find answers, but what matters more is keeping Gerald from withering away. I thought one of us might wither away for a second there. If that dragon had caught us, we'd be as good as dead. Dead? Wait, that's it? I know who we need to talk to next about Gerald. The Fat Friar. Of course, the Hufflepuff ghost. He's been at Hogwarts for ages. The Fat Friar might know why Gerald is so important to Professor Sprout. Let's go. Okay, let's see how long we got here. Before we do that... okay, so this here is... Once we do this, I'll be ending the video. That'll be the end of part 2. And then I will be doing part 3 after. Okay. Watch her, Grogu. Your friends at House Hufflepuff are busy helping Hagrid prepare the new potting soul. When it's ready, we can repot Gerald with fresh soul. Until then, we'll search for answers regarding his origins. And as the Hufflepuff house ghost, the Fat Friar may know about Gerald and what he means to Professor Sprout. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go talk to him. May your life as a Hufflepuff be full of kindness, loyalty, dedication, and hard work. Still not right. Hello, Mr. Friar. Hello there, students. I was just practicing my welcome speech for first-year Hufflepuffs. After the sorting ceremony, new Hufflepuffs are eager to know what to expect. That's where my speech comes in. I spend all year refining it. You can never get enough rehearsing in. I see. How is it going? Well enough, I suppose, but I'm still missing something. It's easy to rattle off facts and trivia about House Hufflepuff, but there's so much more to it than that. I want to convey the true essence of what it means to be a Hufflepuff. That sounds like quite a challenge. Oh, it is. I've been stuck on it for hours. I could use a bit of help if you're willing to listen to what I have so far. I suppose we could do that, but we actually came by to ask you about something. Help me complete my Hufflepuff welcome speech, and I'll tell you everything you want to know. In that case, it's a deal. We'll listen to your speech and give our honest feedback. How kind of you. I want my speech to be memorable, so I just might test your memory later. Welcome to Hufflepuff. Your Hogwarts adventures are just beginning. Another 5 stars. I wish there was a fast forward in this, that you could just use something to go right through all the stars. I mean, I still have lots of energy left. If I need to buy more, I could. Come on. There we go. That went fast. In closing, it's my dearest hope that you feel welcome in Hufflepuff, and for your Hogwarts years to be full of joy. We Hufflepuffs value hard work, acceptance, patience, dedication, loyalty, and kindness. For we all are all on this good earth together, and we ought to help one another if we can. That was a nice speech, Mr. Friar. Much appreciated. Now let's see how much of it got through to you all. Hufflepuff's house colors are black and gold. Can you tell me what the black represents? I'm gonna say badgers. The black represents badgers? Close, Mr. Baby. Our house mascot is indeed a badger, but the black as our house colors does not represent. It signifies the fertile soil of the earth. Many Hufflepuff characteristics correspond to the element of earth. Perhaps that's why we make fine herbologists. I suppose that's fitting. My friend and I just went to great lengths to prepare the perfect potting soil. That's all well and good, but if you ask me, Mr. Friar's speech had far too many words. Being a Hufflepuff isn't about knowing trivia. That's for Ravenclaws. Hufflepuffs show their character through their actions. That's the essence of being a Hufflepuff. I don't disagree, Miss Tongs, but I admit I'm at a loss on how to convey such a concept in my welcome speech. I have an idea. Sometimes the best way to communicate is by telling a story. My Hufflepuff friends and I have been on a journey where each step reminded us of Hufflepuff's strengths. For instance, the Tiara shows for patience, an example of kindness and acceptance of Hufflepuff. You're on to something, Grogu. The same thing that happened when we visited Professor Kettleburn. His work with magical creatures requires dedication and patience. Those are hallmarks of Hufflepuff, too. Then where was all that hard work we put in helping? Then there was all that hard work we put in helping Hagrid in the garden. Hufflepuffs don't mind rolling up their sleeves, that's for sure. And I can't think of a better example of Hufflepuff loyalty than our adventure in the Forbidden Forest. If we hadn't been able to rely on each other, we'd never gathered enough dung to finish the potting soil. Brilliant! Stories like this are exactly what we welcome speech needs to convey the true essence of Hufflepuff. Thank you for this. I couldn't ask for a better way to introduce next year's Hufflepuffs to the new house. You've done me a great service. Now allow me to repay the favor. What information do you need from me? It's about Gerald, Professor Sprout's fang geranium. We want to know why he's so important to her. Ah, Gerald. I thought the old flower looked familiar. I'm afraid I don't know the details of his origin, but I can tell you this. Gerald's been a Pomona's pride and joy since she was a student at Hogwarts, just like you. Kira mentioned that Gerald's fangs showed his advanced stage, but I had no idea he was so old. Yes, it's quite impressive that Gerald's still with us. Pomona must take excellent care of him. We've been looking after Gerald while Professor Sprout is away. We've been preparing new potting soil for him. Speaking of which, it must be ready by now. Let's go replant Gerald to his new soil. Uh-oh. Oh no, Gerald, what have I done? It's all right, Tonks. It doesn't look like Gerald is hurt. We just need to fix his broken pot. But it's in a million pieces. That just means we need a transfigurations expert to make sure we repair it properly. Let's take Gerald and his pot to Professor McGonagall. She'll know how to put all of this back together. Okay, that's part 2 of the Hufflepuff Celebration. Stay tuned for part 3, and we'll get them all, the plant all potted up, and then it'll be all done, and then we'll get our tappy. Okay, so thanks for watching Hufflepuff Celebration Part 2, and stay tuned for Part 3. I know these videos are a little long, that's why I didn't do full all parts. So stay tuned for Part 3. Okay, well, feel free to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Happy tapping, because this is the way.